Hey guys, I'm gonna try to make this as simple as possible for y'all to make 808s from scratch. So, um, if you watched my last video, no, you didn't. It was a fucking terrible video. So I'm gonna just show y'all how I do it from scratch, or sometimes I'll go into my library and pick an 808 and just alter it, and then put it back in my library. So, as you can see, I've made a lot more 808s since my last video. So I know what I'm doing, and now you will if you watch this video. So pull up 3x oscillator. It's probably the easiest way to make 808s from scratch. I always turn down these oscillators and then leave this one on and turn it all the way, turn the pitch all the way down, and then play it at C3, which is probably very quiet for y'all. But until we distort it, it'll sound good. It'll eventually sound like, what's a good one? Like we can make that just from doing this. Depending on what kind of 808 you want to make, the process is a little different. So if you want to make a Zay 808 like that, that's pretty simple. All you have to do is turn the envelope down and turn all these settings down all the way, and turn the decay time up to let me see, up to like maybe 50%. Yeah, that's good. And then I always turn the tension knob up to make the decay time a little bit longer. So you got the first step, and now you do the kick part. If you want to do the kick part for a Zay 808, you kind of have to delay the attack. So I'm gonna not the attack. I'm just gonna delay the envelope a little bit to like 4%. We'll see if that works, and then turn up the amount and the decay to whatever taste. Okay, sounded good. So I'm gonna record that immediately. See, that was pretty simple. So you open up Edison and record it by just playing the sound. I'm gonna make the note longer so it records the whole thing. Okay. Nice. Sounds like a Zay 808 a little bit. You just gotta distort it after this part. So drag it out of here to your sampler. And the reason I told y'all to do C3 is because whenever your 808 is not tuned to C, and you bring it into your sampler, it'll play a different sound or a different note than what is telling you right here. So I always tune it to C, and you know, people who buy your kits will love you for that. So now you have this 808, and I'm gonna distort it. There's a lot of free distortion plugins that you can use. You can either do distortion or saturation. They're both really good. Sometimes I use both on one 808. But this one, I'm gonna just do KHS because this is a free one and it's pretty simple to look at. So just mess with these knobs until it sounds good. I like to turn up the drive a little bit. And the dynamics. And it probably doesn't sound like that right now, but we're gonna do some EQing to it, and there's a lot of processing to do. And the DC filter, so basically what that does is, like, if this 808 is off center from the line right here, then it'll try to center it back. like on the line. That's what this button does too. And sometimes when the 808's centered on that line, it sounds a lot better in your car or whatever. But it doesn't really matter to me, honestly. And the bias will change the DC as well, and the polarity of your 808. And this, definitely don't mess with this in the early stages of, making an 808. That, that's the left and right. Channels. It'll make your 808 sound wide. And that might sound cool by itself, but in a mix, it never works. You have to do it tastefully. There is ways to do it, but if you guys want a video for that, I can show y'all in another video. But I'm going to just make a simple Z for now. So we got that. I might turn it down a little bit. And record it. Whoa. Alright. And I'm going to show you guys some more plugins that I like to use on my 808s. A good one that I recently started using is this one, because it has a low frequency response knob. So I usually turn it down either here or here, and then turn up the drive a little bit. And that just makes it a lot more rumblier, I guess. Okay, that sounds pretty good. And to EQ an 808, you might be surprised by this, but you might have to cut out some low end. So I do a high pass and steep 4, or just leave it on 2, depending on which one sounds better. But this basically makes it less muddy, and sometimes it'll fix your mix, because sometimes that below 20 hertz can mess with your mixes, and it'll cause imbalances and phases, all the technical stuff in your mixes, and you don't want that. So I'm gonna try just 2. Okay, I like 2. I always bring it all the way to the end whenever I can. And you could record that, or sometimes I'll just experiment and switch these around. Okay, I like this better. And then just keep repeating this process over and over. This kind of sounds like the plug 808 right now. If you guys know the DJ plug 808. And pretty much that's the whole process. Just keep repeating the same thing over and over until you get something that sounds cool. And I could put you onto some more plugins too that aren't free. Just keep in mind that they aren't free. So this one is a great one because it's automated distortion, or you can have LFOs routed to these settings, and it's really great because it makes your 808 dynamic. So I'm gonna do just a random preset right here. This one's really cool. If you want to really get experimental with your 808s, definitely use this, because it makes interesting things happen, And then the captator, it's not as cool, I think. It's just like it's another regular distortion plugin. I don't really like the way it sounds on 808s, but you can use it for other things. Or you could just use it on 808s if you like it. Sometimes I'll put OTT on here. I don't usually do this, but on certain 808s it works. So these knobs down here, I usually don't touch the upward compression. That's like it brings up anything that sounds low in the mix. So basically they're like taking the frequencies that aren't very loud and then raising it up so that it's an even, like white noise sort of spectrum. And if you take the downward compression down, it'll make it louder, and like the low end will bump a lot more, which is what you want in an 808. And I'm going to turn down the high end. And I'm going to EQ that ringiness out. And I probably won't put this in my kit. Honestly, this is a cleaner version of that. I'm just showing y'all some cool tricks you can use. Also, if you want your 808s to like sound better on phone speakers, definitely use saturation, because saturation can just make it pop out a lot more. I won't like go into detail about what saturation really does to your sound, because it's kind of hard to explain. But why did I delete that? Okay. But yeah, it's good for just bringing a lot more presence into your 808s. And this is probably the biggest sauce right here. This saturator right here, my favorite saturator of all time, because you can mess with the harmonics, and you can like just, I don't know, mess with these knobs or these sliders here. Like that doesn't sound different, but that's pretty cool. And if I use this saturator, it it compresses the 808 for me. Like I don't have to make it one volume. So I'm actually gonna turn this down, but I'm gonna have the just the saturation itself turned up all the way, and then crank up the input. Okay, crank it up a lot more actually. Just to show y'all that it does actually compress. So you see that? It's like when you crank up the input like that, it just brings it all the way up and then clips it. But it doesn't sound like it's clipping, and it's not actually like cutting off these, these points right here. So there you go. If you like this tutorial, leave a like, and I'm working on this drum kit. It's coming out soon-ish. I'm still working on some of the sounds, but I like the 808s in here. So appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.